Amici del Grande Tennis, I'm going to speak in English now with Steve Flink, great friend and old colleague. Well, we saw, I would say, a nice final, a good final, at least for the first two sets, because a lot of emotions going on, and then at the end, who was the winner? Was Novak Djokovic, again, as last year. Last year he won in 5 sets, this time he won in 4, he could have won in 3.
Absolutely. Very similar to last year in the sense that last year he should have won in 4 and it won 5. You could argue that he could have even won in 3 last year too, although that's maybe a tougher case to make. But today, Ubaldo, you summed it up well. In the first set, Djokovic down 4-2, got back on serve, saved a couple of set points on his serve with great serves, got into the tiebreak, dominated the tiebreak 7-1. Federer double faulting at 1-6.
Sure.
Then the second set, Djokovic had a set point before the tiebreak, missed a running forehand that was not that difficult, and then had 6 more set points in the tiebreak, second set tiebreak, that Federer finally salvaged. And there they were at 1 set all. And you wondered, didn't you wonder at that point whether Djokovic might lose it all? I mean, I thought it was so disconcerting to him to lose the second set and not be 2 sets to love.
Yes. I was surprised in a way the way he handled, because I mean, after losing that set in that way, he could have become terribly nervous.
And he was nervous on many of those set points. That was the thing. Federer played a couple of them beautifully on his own serve, but Djokovic missed some forehands. He had some openings that he should have taken advantage of, which I think bothered him even more. But then, as you know, the start of the third set was things swung back to Djokovic, and he managed to get the early break, and from there he took control of the match again.
Yes, there was that rain break that maybe helped a little bit Djokovic to relax.
I think so, but he already had the break by the time they went in for the rain break. That helped.
True.
So he knew he had sort of restored things to a degree for himself. And then you're right, he seemed very composed when they resumed the match, and he won the third set and broke Federer a couple of times in the fourth, which was a good effort.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that the match had some extraordinary point. I mean, we saw some rallies, some passing shot, sometimes by Federer, sometimes by Djokovic. I mean, the quality was great, and I think that Djokovic at the end deserves to win, and he deserves to be the number 1 in the world. He is number 1 in the world since 53 weeks now. I mean,
right, and he's going to, now with this, he could almost collapse the rest of the year and stay number 1. He's got 2 majors, he's got the final of the French, he's got 6 titles. He's distanced himself, he's keeping far ahead of Federer, who's number 2 and who's going to have trouble maintaining that. Djokovic will finish this year number 1 without a doubt, and deservedly so.
Yeah. And, I think that Djokovic was great in all fields, let's say, serving, second serve, returning, very deep, very many lines.
Yes.
And that pushed Federer 1 meter back, and then Federer missed a lot of forehands because the court was longer. Yeah. The net seemed to be higher, and
he worked him over, didn't you think? Yeah. That Djokovic made Federer hit so many running forehands. The physicality of this match was so much greater than anything Federer experienced in the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
I think it was a shock to his system. Yes, Murray had some great rallies with him, but it was 3 sets, and Federer was serving so brilliantly in that match, never broken, facing only 1 break point, that it wasn't a strain. Today was a strain, because Djokovic, when he served, made Federer do a lot of running, particularly wide to his forehand, and that made Roger uncomfortable, I think.
Well, then we must also give the credits to Djokovic that every time he plays, most of the other players, he have all the crowd against him. Because if he has to play Federer, everyone is for Federer. If he plays Wawrinka, Wawrinka is an outsider, is not the favorite, everyone is for Wawrinka. If he plays Murray in Great Britain or everywhere else,
they root for Murray, right. Even in Paris they rooted for Murray against Djokovic.
Yeah, so for I mean, that's why I think he deserves even more. He won 9 slams now, and if you think that, Fred Perry,
Jimmy
Connors, even Lander,
Andre Agassi.
I mean, all these players have won 1 slam less, and he's 28, and he said today in the interview, I'm not old. I don't feel old.
No, he's got a lot more majors left in him. He'll definitely go the double digits is not far off. It may happen at the U.S. Open. And I think from there, we're going to see him. Oh, I can't imagine he doesn't win it, end up his career with at least 14, maybe 15 majors.
Yeah, also because, Nadal, we don't know, is a bit on crisis, and I mean, he's not the same Nadal that we knew. Federer next
Getting
year
older,
will be
right.
35 years old.
Right.
I mean, there is Murray, but we saw that Djokovic can handle Murray in a way. So,
yes.
I mean, yeah, you're right, I think, Steve.
I think, frankly, he was asked in the press conference, and you heard it, about maybe he could have, if he had only won the match with Wawrinka in Paris, he could be going for a Grand Slam right now.
Correct.
With Serena. And he was humble about that. But the fact is, he caught Wawrinka on a very hot day. More often than not, Djokovic's best is going to beat all of these guys on the big occasions. More often than not.
Well, so at the end of this Wimbledon, I can say that the real winners are Serena Williams, who is on the run for a Grand Slam, Novak Djokovic, Martina Hingis, who won mixed doubles and women's doubles, and Steve Flink, who has been my co-partner and partner in this broadcasting, which I hope you enjoyed. And I hope and I promise that you will enjoy even more the one at the U.S. Open. Do you agree?
I look forward to it, Ubaldo, and I think you're one of the big winners as well, because you've kept the audience laughing. We've had serious moments and some not so serious moments,
well,
but it's been fun.
All right. Thanks a lot, Steve, and see you at the U.S. Open.